Caruso has made significant progress in the race for mayor, closing a large part of the gap with Representative Karen Bass since August, but the billionaire businessman still trails by double digits among the people who are likeliest to vote. Those findings from the latest UC Berkeley Institute of Governmental Studies poll, sponsored by The Times, highlight key dynamics as the mayoral race heads into its final week. Space, backed by most of the elected Democratic leadership in California, has a strong hold on her fellow partisans, who mock Caruso, backed by tens of millions of dollars from his personal fortune, has a path forward, but one that depends on getting potential supporters who are not frequent voters to show up for a mayoral election with few other major draws on the ballot. Still, Caruso, whose ubiquitous visage recently returned to the region's airwaves, has gained ground from a month ago. Among all registered voters, he's now behind by just 3 percentage points, 34% to 31%, within the poll's margin of error. That's down from a 12-point gap in August. Among likely voters, however, Bass continues to lead by 15 points, 46% to 31%, down from a 21-point lead a month ago. Determining which voters are likely to turn out in an election is a complicated task for pollsters. The Berkeley poll, which was accurate in the June primary, defines likely voters as those who have a history of voting in recent elections and who indicated they were highly interested in voting this fall. Those likely voters tend to be older, richer and whiter and are more likely to be registered Democrats and to identify as strongly liberal than the electorate as a whole. The actionable information in a poll is with likely voters because elections are decided by people who actually vote, said Bill. The path forward for Caruso, the poll suggests and outside analysts concur, is to push up turnout among voters who so far appear less interested in the race. That would include many Latino voters, whose engagement in the race so far lags behind other groups. Caruso and Bass are running close to even among Latino voters. While Bass has a large lead among Black voters, she's one of only 2 Black members of the Los Angeles congressional delegation, and among white voters, Caruso has a well of potential support among voters who have cast ballots in at least some previous elections but whose level of interest in the race was too low for pollsters to deem them likely voters. Angelenos who voted in at least one previous election and said they were only moderately interested in voting favored Caruso over Bass 33% to 14% with about half undecided. A similar margin held among respondents who indicated they had a low interest in voting.